I'm having an argument with a dear friend of mine who wants to sign this petition on whitehouse.gov to secede, and I'm like, stop. And she said, I'm not going to do nothing. I've got to do something for I'm not going to just sit around and do nothing. This is for my grandchildren and my children. And I'm like, no.
I mean, that is nothing. You do realize that.
No, it's more than nothing. You are putting you're giving your name to data collectors.
Well, yeah, it's nothing on the positive side. It certainly can result in negative consequences at some point.
Yeah.
But it certainly is. There's nothing on the positive side. The president's not going to be like, wow, 25,000 people want us to. I guess we just let them go. I mean, that's not how these things end. Nothing happens. It's a stupid. The whole petition site in and of itself is a dumb pandering.
What if it does? What if Obama says, okay, Texas has been asking for this for a while. Let him do it. Okay, you guys go ahead. Then what?
Well, if Texas want to do it anyway.
If you're in Texas, it's
got to be a poll.
We'd celebrate.
Okay. What if he says Idaho? You go ahead. You're on your own too.
They'd celebrate too.
What about Iowa? Can Iowa, sustain themselves? Iowa, Idaho.
I don't know.
Wisconsin.
Idaho would be able to do it. Wisconsin probably would not be able to do it.
California, they can't even do it now with all the help they're getting.
Yeah.
Texas is probably the only state that could sustain itself.
Well, Texas has its own power grid. Texas has its own resources.
Military.
Texas has its own
Air Force.
Well, the Texas National Guard, but I mean, those are.
And the Air National Guard.
Well, but I believe that those technically kind of the United States, although I believe this could be urban legend too. Do you know this? I believe if the United States was to leave Texas, they are technically allowed to keep the hardware on the ground. Is that right?
I've
heard that, and I don't know if that's true. There's so many Texas. There's a lot of tall tales in Texas.
There are.
You know what? We got to write in our Constitution to kick everybody's ass. You're like, okay, I don't think that's in the Constitution.
Now, the words "kick ass" do appear in the Texas Constitution.
Yeah,
that's official.
That was
I believe that.
I do believe that.
But there's not widespread support at all in Texas for secession. The polls show about 18% of people want to do it, and that's the same percentage. Same percentage nationwide, by the way.
Is it really?
You're kidding me.
Yeah. About 30% of Texans. There's a higher percentage of Texans who believe they have the right to secede, which is one of the things you talked about this, Pat, right?
Yeah.
It's not actually true, but it is one of those sort of urban legends about Texas.
Look, Texans love America. Everybody loves America.
Well, no.
So guys in the White House don't currently love America, but everybody, generally speaking, loves America. And nobody wants to secede and everything else. But I think, especially if that's nationwide, 18%, that is really
That's pretty high. That's higher than I would guess nationwide.
That this is
I would think that it was about 25% of Texans seriously would want to secede. So it's just a little under where I thought it was.
But and it might be higher now. I mean, after Obama's reelection. This is a poll from a little while ago.
How long ago?
It's a Rasmussen reports poll.
Do they have an old one, too?
2009.
2009. Wow, it's got to be a lot higher. I bet it's 25 or 30%. I mean, 25%.
Maybe, but as this poll points out, the polling, there's twice as much support for gay marriage in Texas than there is for secession.
We're talking about secession.
Right, I know. But that's what the point is.
Gay marriage, you can make the libertarian argument of why do I care? Why do I care?
Texas
secession changes your life.
Right. I don't think, I think there's a general frustration with the government that gets, illustrated by things like this. But it's not, the vast majority of people want to make America better. We love America.
Hang on just a second. This is the phones, too.
I don't want to answer the phone. It's going to be an annoying person on the other end.
No, it's not.
And it's probably an annoying telemarketer.
No, it's not a telemarketer.
It probably is. Someone really, a pollster. Well, how am I going to vote this?
Answer the phone.
Hello.
Yes. Hi.
Yeah.
I'm a pollster, and I just wanted to ask you a question, stranger. Will you tell this stranger on the other end of the phone that you want to secede?
Yeah. I'm going to go with no, but I'm going to go sign a petition online at the White House website and do it.
I mean, who says that? Who answers the question? I mean, does anybody higgledy-piggledy say, I want to secede?
Yeah, I think some do.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what the people. I mean, The reaction to the secession stories, it's just general frustration of the way the country's moving. People don't like what's happening here. So they're saying maybe if we pulled out, we could do it ourselves. That does not mean they've considered the actual going through a civil war.
Here's what's really interesting. This is the difference between progressives and conservatives or libertarians. We say we want to secede. The progressives say, I'm moving to France. We don't want to move to France. We want to live here. We love it here. We love the Constitution. We want to live here under our Constitution. You want to live in France. So when you want to make us France or China, we say there's already that country. You should go try that country because you'll love it. And you've already said, you lose this election, you'll move. Go move. I'll help you. I will personally help you move. I will, and I don't do that. Have I ever done this for your house and move when you move? Come over pack. Have I ever helped you pack?
No.
I will personally come to your house and help you pack. I'll help you pack. I'll load your crap on the plane. Get out. But they look at it as we'll just go some other crappy country that we really love. Well, no. And that's the only difference. Your threat to move to Canada is our threat of secession.
Yeah, I mean, the liberals say, progressives say, they have it mostly right over there. We say we had it mostly right here. Let's go back to it.
Right, and the difference is they can name 6 states or 6 countries that have it right. Oh, let me tell you about what they do in Sweden. Then go move in Sweden. Let me tell you what they're doing in Norway. Move to Norway.
Finland's got it good.
That's great. Let me tell you how they run things in Europe. Go to Europe, anywhere. I don't care. Name the country. Go. I'll buy you the plane ticket right now. Go. Name one place that has the U.S. Constitution. I can't name one. Not even the United States of America. It's not using it. It's not using it. And it's what made us unique. And that's all we're looking for is to be unique. We want to live our life a certain way. That's why we came here. If you don't like it, that's fine. And that's why when people said peaceful secession, I believe they really mean it. I don't really care what happens to Massachusetts. I don't. I want the people to be happy and everything else. But I've never fought them on universal health care in Massachusetts. If that's what you want, that's fine. California, I love California. Massachusetts, not so much. California, I love. I've always wanted to live in California. I love to visit California. Not so much lately, but I like to visit. I have always wanted to live there. I would build my company there if it wasn't so crazy. But it is. Okay, so it's crazy. You want to vote crazy? Vote crazy all you want. I am paying for it. So when we say secede, I'd like to come over the border and visit Disneyland once in a while. I'm not gonna, no harm, no foul. I don't care what you do. If that's what you want to be, that's great. If you want to be that peaceful nation that doesn't have any war ever, that's fine. Good luck with China. Good luck. That's totally cool. Texas, we'll have the jets. Somebody screws with us, we'll pound you into glass. And I don't care if it's Kansas. We don't have anything wrong with Kansas. But if Kansas wants to come and attack or try to come and steal some of the stuff from Texas, that's fine. We'll pound you into glass. Okay. If you don't want to do that, hey, let's trade with each other. Let's be cool. I'm totally fine with Kansas. Kansas seems fine with me. Just don't take my stuff. And that's what California and New York are about to do. They're about to take your stuff. They already are in taxes. You pay your taxes. You work hard. Your taxes are going to the federal government, and your taxes are going to pay for Bloomberg's crazy ideas. Your taxes are going to bail out all of the mortgages that failed in those states like California. I'm sorry. I'm not responsible for what you did in your state. And that's all we mean by secession is I'm not going to be tied. What we're talking about is not, when you say peaceful secession, we're not saying a dissolution of the Union. We're saying a dissolution, a dissolving of the Union as the way it is understood, as defined beginning with Wilson and especially with FDR, where the federal government can come and tell you exactly what you can and cannot do on your land. That started in 1936. They never had the right to come in and tell me what I could do with my land. It's my land. It's my house. What do you mean you're talking about telling me what to do? Go to hell. So we're not talking about getting rid of the United States of America. We're saying we want to be separate and independent states. We want to work together. We'll still be a union. I don't have a problem with California. Don't tell me what to do with my land and my town. We're making that decision. That's what's made us unique.
Yeah, I mean, it's the constitutional argument. I mean, we'd love to have a place where all the states work together, and that the federal government does the things that are told, that we give it power, like such as national defense, the major big things that we do together.
We disagree. I disagree with the people in California and Massachusetts with the choices that they're making for their own state. I go there and I think you're nuts. But that's okay. That's your right to be nuts.
Right. And liberals constantly complain that poor red states get too much money from rich blue states. Well, you're upset with it too? Because we don't like that arrangement either. We don't like the arrangement of everyone sharing money on these giant programs. How about this? Let's come together and stop doing it.
I don't want to be I don't want to be a separate country. I really don't. No. I'm proud to be an American. I don't want to be a separate country. I just want to honor the Constitution. And many states are no longer honoring the Constitution. The federal government is no longer honoring the Constitution. That's what we mean. Honor the Constitution. The Constitution, now and forever.